Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be using RxJava to fetch data from a REST API. So let's begin. Let's declare an observable first. Observable equals to observable, and we'll be creating a new observable from scratch. So I'll be using observable.create. Then an emitter, and within this we'll be making the REST API call. So I'll be using try catch. If an exception occurs, I'll just say emitter dot on error, and I'll just throw this error. In the try block, I'll be first declaring the URL, and the URL will be I guess this is the correct URL. So after this we will open an HTTP connection. So URL connection, let's give it a name con equals to URL dot open connection. After this we will be declaring a buffered reader for getting the input. So br equals to new buffered reader and new input stream reader, and con dot get input stream. After this I will be saying string line equals to an empty string, then while line equals to br dot read line not equals to null. I'll just emit these values, and after the while loop I'll say emitter dot on complete. So let's subscribe to this observable dot subscribe. Then for the error I'll say observable error, and then the on complete I'll just print here completed. In the value I'll simply print out this value, and in the error also I'll print out the error. Now let's run and check if it works. So yeah, it does work. It gives us the JSON output from the REST API, and after that it prints out completed. So let's check on which thread these things are running. So I'll just print out the thread name here. I'll say thread dot current thread dot get name, and here also I'll just print from observer running on thread dot current thread dot get name, and here I'll say observable running on. Now let's remove this. Now let's run and see. So we can see both the observable and observer are running on the main thread. So if I want to change this, I don't want these IO operations to be conducted on the main thread. So for that I'll say observable dot subscribe on schedulers dot. There are many threads available. These are reactive threads. So for example, if I select single, then it will run on Rx single thread. So now let's run and see what the output is. So the observable is running on Rx single scheduler, but it doesn't print anything from here because the main thread already finishes off before this code can run. So for that I have to pause the main thread actually. So thread.sleep, I'm giving a 2 seconds sleep. Now let's run and check. Alright, so this time it printed the values, and the observable is now running on Rx single scheduler, and since observable is running on Rx single scheduler, the observer is also observing on the same thread. So for changing that, I'll say dot observe on scheduler dot, now let's say computation thread. So now I'll run and check. So the observable is running on single scheduler and the observer is running on computation thread pool. So I guess you got to understand how observe and subscribe on works. It actually changes the thread on which the computation or the observable and the observer actually runs. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.